We are continuing the countdown of the top 20 best Notre Dame players entering the 2025 season. Let's talk 10 through 6 next. Ryan Roberts from A to Z Sports breaking down everything Notre Dame football. Folks, have been going through a series here where I'm counting down the top 20 best Notre Dame players entering the 2025 college football season. If you've missed the list up until this point, we've gone through number 20 through 11. Make sure to go back in these videos the last couple weeks and really decipher where players have been selected, too high, too low. Love the commentary in the comments as always, but I want to work through 10 through 6 here, and we're going to start with number 10. I have starting offensive guard Billy Shrath slotted at number 10. Now, if you think back to Billy in the 2022 recruiting class, he was considered a top 100 recruit by multiple platforms coming out of high school, and the full-time starter in 2024 after starting the last 3 games of the 2023 season. You saw a lot of great moments for Billy Shrath in 2024. Now, he's still a player that needs to take the next step forward, needs to stay healthy, obviously banged up a little bit in 2024, but when he was healthy, he was pretty good, and he showed a lot of his upside and his potential. Not quite the All-American that some have projected him to be, but I do think if he has a big jump in 2025, he could be potentially on that level. A player that I wanted to rank a little bit higher, but it's just such a small sample size. Coming in at number 9, I have starting offensive guard as well, Charles Jagasaw, who was slated to be the starting left tackle going into 2024. Of course, he had the pec injury in the preseason last year, which cost him the majority of the season. Came in the Penn State game in at right guard and was a dominant force, started the national championship game at left tackle. I believe that if he was fully healthy for the entirety of the year, projection-wise, I think that he may have been a top 3 player potentially on this list right now. But unfortunately, we only have 2 starts in the career of Charles Jagasaw and only 3 true games where you had full evaluations from him. So it's just such a limited sample size. But obviously, 6'7", 325 plus pounds, incredible athlete, all-state wrestler in high school. This is a incredibly talented player, and I expect him to be one of the best offensive linemen in college football in 2025. And I expect him, if he's fully healthy, to be much higher on this list when we recap it following the season. Coming in at number 8, I have, for you all, Jadarian Price, star running back who, on many teams, would be the best running back on the roster. And unfortunately for him, he plays with the guy that we're going to talk about on the next video, Jeremiah Love, who's one of the best running backs and arguably the best running back in all of college football. Jadarian Price, though, still, while being a 1B in the offense or a 2 in the offense, depending on how you look at it, still ran for over 700 yards, 7 touchdowns, and averaged over 6 yards per carry in 2024. Now, I expect him, obviously, to be a huge pairing along with Love again in 2025. One of the most dynamic 1-2 punches in all of college football, and Price brings a lot of home run speed to the table. A little bit of a feast or famine runner at times, and I want to see him be utilized more in the passing game and show that he can be an impact in that area. But if we're talking about a guy that can take the ball to the house anytime he touches the football, Jadarian Price is a heck of a running back for Notre Dame. Coming in at number 7, the leading tackler returning. Now, of course, the 2 leading tacklers on the team last year were Jack Kaiser and Xavier Watts, now both off to the NFL as top 4-round NFL draft picks. But junior linebacker Drake Bowen, starting Mike linebacker, fresh off a 78 tackle season in his first year as a starter. Expect him to be one of the better inside linebackers in all of college football. 6'2", about 235 pounds, and really physical downhill presence with surprising range for his size. Expect him to be the leader of this defense in 2025, going into his second year as a starter. Number 6, this is a little bit of the wild card one. I think a lot of people are going to disagree with this one because I talked about Charles Jagasaw not having a big sample size, which is why he was down at number 9 for me. But I'm going out on a limb here a little bit. Number 6, Bubacar Traylor, star pass rusher going into his junior year. Now, I know what many people are saying here. He's coming off an injury. Obviously had the knee injury during the Louisville game that cost him the majority of the 2024 season. But if he's fully healthy, and according to head coach Marcus Freeman, he is expected to be, I think he's going to end up being one of the best edge rushers in all of college football in 2025. 6'4", about 240 pounds. This is the twitch, the bend, and the explosiveness that Notre Dame needs more of off the edge. In just 4.5 football games, not even quite 4.5, 5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. He was on pace for 16 tackles for loss and 10 sacks if he didn't even take it up a notch. Just doing what he was doing in 2024. I think that he's going to be a breakout star in college football, and he could end up being a top 5 player on this roster, but I'm taking a little bit of gamble here at number 6. Folks, who's too high? Who's too low? Who are you excited to see? Now predict the top 5. Who are some players that you expect to be in that list when it comes out? Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe on the way out. And as always, go Irish.